Some people will never like me, and I will never give a fuck. You worry about what they say. Confidence is not they will like me. Confidence is I'll be fine if they don't like me. Now, it's safe to say that I've never been worried about what people think of me. That's the truth. That's the truth.
17 times before you get it right, pendejo. 17 fucking times. Some of you are going to try to do it the first time out, and you're going to fail. The second, third, fourth time out, and you're going to fail. And why did Dan say 17 times so many fucking times? They all talk shit. They don't talk shit publicly because they're worried about their legacy. I don't give a fuck about my legacy. A fuck up. And that's what I was called. You know, Peña, the wetback fuck up. Now see, that should have hurt my feelings. Because I was really sensitive when I was a little boy. Peña, you're the sorriest excuse in this man's army. And when I became an officer, you're the sorriest excuse for a fucking officer in this man's army. When I played football, American football, you're so slow, Peña, why don't you wear the other team's jersey? And I go on and on and on. They used to stand me in the corner with a dunce cap. And if I turned around then, they put me in the closet. All day. I used to have to piss and shit my pants. Now just imagine if you went through that. Other than to be on CNN now, right? And your little weenie mother would be crying tears. Oh, look at my little Johnny. I didn't know, and this is the true story, I didn't know how many zeros was in a million. I had never heard the word million until I was a young second lieutenant Army officer in the officers club overseas. I walked in and they were all drinking. Well, they drank a lot anyway, but they were drinking and they looked like free drinks at the bar, you know. And I asked another guy, a buddy of mine who was a captain, and I said, John, what are they doing? He says, Harry just inherited $1,400,000. He was another young officer. And I said, could you write that down? And he wrote it down on a napkin. 1,4. That's the first time I ever saw what a million was. I was 22 years old. I never heard a million, the word million, pass anybody's lips in the hood. Never. Now the hood gangsters, they talk about millions and, you know, but not then. And so we drank up, and during that same time frame, I was at I won an award, which is pretty funny. It was about an IBM award. I came up with an idea to save the Army about $3 million over 10 years. I don't really remember how I did it, but I came up with some idea because I didn't know anything about computers in those days. I was getting an award, and the two-star general, Woodrow Vaughn, was standing at the bar, and he says, Danny, you should buy the drinks. And I said, why, General? Because, well, I didn't say why I bought the drinks. Then I asked him why, because you don't ask a general why when he tells you to do something. And he said, because you got that award. And I said, I got a $50 war bond. If I kept it 25 years, it was worth $50. But right now, it was worth $6.75. I saved the government $3 million. They gave me $6.75. And he said, you know, you ought to consider civilian life because a guy like you could make a fortune in the civilian life. And a light bulb went off over my head. I remember the moment. I still get chills talking about it. Wealth, civilian. Because I had just signed up to be a regular Army officer. I was going to be a career officer. And I was out of the Army in 6 months. The $1,400,000, the two-star general who ultimately became a three-star general saying that you could get wealthy in the civilian life, and the rest is history. That was the first high-performance thing I ever did was become an officer. And so since I'm about 20, I've been a high-performance person, and nothing's changed.
Some people will never like me, and I will never give a fuck. You worry about what they say. As I told Brian Rose 4 years ago, you have no idea how limitless your life becomes vis-a-vis goals when you don't give a shit what people think, say, or whisper about you. You have no idea. The world will not value me until I value myself. And the reason why people don't value you, kids, is because you don't value yourself. Confidence is not they will like me. Confidence is I'll be fine if they don't like me. Now, it's safe to say that I've never been worried about what people think of me. That's the truth. That's the truth.
One of the steps, practice, and then practice, and then practice. 17 times before you get it right. 17 times before you get it right, pendejo. 17 fucking times. And some of you are going to try to do it the first time out, and you're going to fail. The second, third, fourth time out, and you're going to fail. And why did Dan say 17 times so many fucking times? And I will say it 17 times during the seminar. And that's why I say go to Toastmasters, go to improv. The people with the best communication skills do best at this. And most of your communication skills suck. Most of the dipshit retards, I don't mean retarded in that sense, retards watching this on YouTube have no communication skills. At one time I had piss poor communication skills. They used to throw plates at me when I go to a Rotary Club to give a speech. Can you imagine? They threw fucking plates at me. Your feelings would be hurt. One of the greatest bodacious goals, and we'll talk about goals in a couple of days, was President Obama. I don't like President Obama. But when he said when he was a 19, 20-year-old fucking dopehead that he was going to be the first black president of the United States, that's a pretty big fucking goal that you can be. And what QLA is, and the definition of a high-performance person, is to always do what he says and always say what you do, and to be all you can be every single day. And it's not easy. It's very, very hard. And until you build up the habits, it will be hard. And, you know, I've been doing it almost 50 years now, and so, no, actually more than 50 years now. I'm losing track of time. And, but, I mean, all the high-performance people I've had the privilege of being around are the same. They all talk shit. They don't talk shit publicly because they're worried about their legacy. I don't give a fuck about my legacy. Part of my legacy is that I talk shit, but they worry about because, you know, and now it's, you know, virtually everything I've said is come to fruition. It's, you know, has it been a self-fulfilling prophecy in some regards? Yes. Has my talking shit got me across the goal line sometimes? Yes. Okay? Absolutely. There's no question about that. Have the kids that I have trained, i.e. the young man that's sitting in the front row, he sounds more confident than he did 3 years ago. Of course, he's done shit now. Okay? And as he told off camera earlier, when he said that, you know, you got to sound enthusiastic. You got to, you know, otherwise, you know, if you're just sitting there shaking shit in your pants, nobody's going to believe anything you have to say. Or, more importantly, not that nobody will believe, only the wrong kind of people will believe. The kind of people you don't want to be associated with. The kind of people you probably are associated with now.
Focus.
Focus, yeah.
I focus on everything. I mean, I focus on one thing at a time. Most of you are engaged in 2, 3, 4 different endeavors, and you're not doing any of them very well. Focus on one. And I never get into business. I'm not looking to exit. But by the way, I said it yesterday. For those of you, and I read some emails from a couple of you, you have a business 2 years ago, and now you're doing 250,000 or 260,000 euros in revenue. That's geometric growth. You started from zero 24 months ago. You're now doing 250,000 euros. That's geometric growth. But now, what did I say yesterday? You start playing not to lose instead of playing to win. Focus. I mean, and it's a single key thing when you're an athlete. And I wasn't an athlete by any stretch of the imagination, but the world-class athletes I've had the privilege of working with, all the same thing, focus. If they're basketball players, and I had the pleasure of working with the Lakers back in their heyday, they wake up, they go to sleep with the basketball, literally. Footballers, they go to sleep, I mean, from the time they get up to the time they go to bed. That's all they think about is focus. So focus is the primary thing that not just you, but anybody that is interested in being a high-performance person.
And there could be more other than pessimists, rejection, friends, haters, relatives, fear, society, guilt. Okay. But this is what you more or less have to go through. See, most of you are used to this. You don't have haters yet because you haven't accomplished anything yet. Bill Gates has haters. Dan Peña has haters. Dan Locke has haters. Brian Rose has fewer haters because he's such a goody two-shoes, fucking, you know, love everybody. But he's even got haters. And there could be 3 or 4 more in there. But everybody in this room and everybody on YouTube can relate to one of those. Some of you can relate to all of them. And your subconscious has already told you that's why you're going to step on your dick and you're going to fall out of the program. You're going to engage in self-sabotaging activities. But at least you can say, and this is what I tell people, even if they drop out of the program, they're better off for going here. And now you realize high-performance living is not for you. 100 hours a week is not for you. Just think all the time you're going to save. No more personal development. No more pod fucks. No more. Just imagine. But that's not what you do. Even if you decide QLA is not for you because it's too hard, you go back to somebody that's giving you tips. Because 40% of the day you waste. Some of you waste 80% of your days. Some of you waste 95% of your day. But on average, people that come here, maximum, utilize 50 to 60% of the day. Maximum. And those are the high performance people. When you list hour by hour from the time you wake up in the morning to the time you go to sleep at night, what you do, you will, in this country they say you will be gobsmacked. You will throw up. I mean, programming yourself and your habits really isn't that difficult. When you understand what makes the synapses fire, it's not that hard. But you're not used to saying no. You're used to saying yes, or not saying anything and giving tacit approval. So it goes from hate to love, not love, but respect. I don't want anybody in this room to love me. I don't want anybody on YouTube to love me. Respect. I've earned my respect based on results, not based on my political views or my religious views or anything else, but based on results. There's nobody else out there that I'm aware of, and if there is, let me know, YouTubers, that can take meathead retards and make them into multimillionaires and billionaires. You show me. You show me.